What is up, everybody? It's Sam, and we are back with another episode of Pessimistic at Best, the podcast. And I have my friend Meg on the pod.
Hi.
Hi, Meg. I'm so excited to have you on.
I'm so excited to be here.
I'm also just excited that I had the opportunity to have you over for dinner.
No, I know. It was so good.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Good recipe. Shout out to James. I really did very little of the cooking.
And Half-Baked Harvest, Miss
That's my
Keegan.
girl. She really knows how to slay in the kitchen.
Yeah, that
I'll
girl
say
knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She doesn't play.
Well, I love that her recipes are also seasonal. So like I saw like butternut squash. I was like, buzzword. That's what we're making.
Yes. It's fall. It's officially fall.
It is.
As of a couple days ago.
Yes.
So
Is it the solstice or the equinox? I can never remember.
summer equinox.
Fall equinox.
Summer solstice.
Yes.
Fall
you're right.
equinox, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I know. So crazy. Although today was kind of giving summer, but
yeah. It was like, I knew I learned that in like 6th grade at some point. It's one of those things that was just archived in my brain, and
totally.
there we go.
Because it's like every other, right? So then winter solstice. Is that how that works?
I don't know.
I guess I don't either.
We'll see in a couple months, I guess.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Correct us.
Actually, I think my birthday is... When does winter is in December, right? Or November?
I want to say December.
Okay, so then maybe it's not my birthday. Maybe were we just tuned out of like that part of elementary school when we learned?
Literally.
Or has it just been too long?
Like,
I don't know.
For some reason it doesn't stick.
Yeah. It's a simple Google search away.
It is. I know. That's so true. The problem is I don't have my phone while we're recording on it. Otherwise I'd look it up. But yeah, I mean, do you believe in like zodiac signs? Do you like track the moon, all those good things?
I believe in zodiac signs on a surface level. I would love to...
I feel the same.
Yeah. Like, it's so interesting to me, and I love watching TikToks of people explaining stuff to me. But I feel like it's so intricate and also very interpretable, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like there's part of it that's like subjective and up to an individual's interpretation how they choose to practice astrology.
Yeah.
So I love hearing like people's different takes and stuff, but I for sure don't know enough to have my own.
I'm the same. I like signed up for CoStar however many years ago.
Yep.
And I remember because I like knew my rising, my main sign or whatever.
What is it?
So I'm a Leo.
Okay.
And then, I'm already bad at this. What's the main one?
Sun.
That everyone knows. Okay, my sun sign is Leo.
Okay.
And then my rising is Sagittarius and my moon is Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm a Sag sun.
Okay.
So we're both fire signs.
Yes.
Love that. I'm a Aquarius rising.
Okay.
And a Taurus moon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I have Scorpio and Venus, which is like the love sign.
Yeah.
According to CoStar.
Yes, literally.
Yeah.
No, it's always so fun. Like I had my friend like do my chart for me forever ago. And ever since then, I remember specifically comparing mine. I like put my mom in there so I could see hers. And my mom's sun sign is also Scorpio. I forget what her other two are at this point, but and I remember like reading all the ways we're compatible and the ways like the areas that we might bicker in, and I was like, this is actually so spot on. I don't know how anyone could not believe this.
Most people are doing like compatibility zodiac signs for like love interests. You're like, no, I need to know where my mom and I are gonna butt heads. Okay,
straight up.
And if it was actually true, then I might need that website.
No, 100%. It was like crazy. I was like, this is so helpful because this like gives me a roadmap for how to speak to my mom.
Yeah,
I literally love my mom so much, but I was like, this is so true. And I feel like that was a good person to compare it against because I know my mom so well, and I do know all the areas that we have trouble and all the things that we like love together and, you know, whatever. So yeah, it was like fascinating, but I'm the same. I like definitely, I'm a hobbyist, but I'm not all the way in.
Yeah.
I want to know more.
Yeah. I want to know more. I also kind of enjoy being where I'm at with it, where it's like, I know enough, but I also don't know enough to the point where I can kind of use it as an excuse.
Totally.
Right? So like if I'm having a really shitty day and I'll open up CoStar and be like, let's see what it says about what my vibe is.
I'm so guilty of that too.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, what could possibly be going wrong today?
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, this is in this sign for this many days. And I'm like, oh, okay. So that's why I've been having a shitty week.
I also love like the do's and don'ts list, and it'll be like, don't do laundry. Yeah. And I'm like, you said it, sister.
If you say so, if you say so, who am I to argue with the stars and the sun and the moon? Yeah.
So funny.
It's nice to have that surface level where you can just like apply it to your life where you want 100%. It to be applied to
without it like infiltrating everything.
Totally.
Yeah.
Would we potentially benefit from knowing more and being more in tune with the movement of the planets and how it relates to our lives?
Of course.
Probably, yes. But then I wouldn't be able to excuse my behavior sometimes. So
that's so true. It's healthy to only know so much about yourself.
Yes, exactly.
Having some tasteful ignorance.
Yes. And a healthy level of delusion, which we talked about this earlier. I like to think that I live my life to what I consider to be a healthy level of delusion, which I think is like fun. Like it keeps it interesting. But I think about it in the sense of like, so we were talking about this earlier too, like my delusion applies to my life in the sense where if I am interested in something or like I want to try something, I'm delusional enough to think that I can just like watch a YouTube video on it and learn right away.
Yeah.
So like you're
gonna be an expert.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like I know everything that I need to know. I don't need to take a class.
Yeah.
I don't need to ask questions
for sure
or read a book.
Read the instructions.
Yeah. Like look at an encyclopedia to know all of the terms. No, like it's a 10-minute YouTube video and hands-on and we'll figure it out.
Sorry if you can hear my cats. They're literally going absolutely insane and have been all night. I think they're excited because you're here.
Well, I'm honored. I'm also excited that they're here, that you're here, that I'm here.
So true.
Period.
Okay, but delusion. Have you heard like all over like TikTok and stuff, everyone saying like delulu?
Yes.
I'm obsessed.
Yes. Okay, so I don't know if I'm the first one to have ever coined this term, but relating to, so like, for example, right? Earlier this year, I met someone who like makes and designs her own clothes.
Oh,
she like buys fabric. Like she designed her own like birthday dress and she looked amazing in it. It fit her
That's badass.
Beautifully. And I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's so cool.
Totally.
I love clothes. I love thrifting. And specifically with thrifting, it's like sometimes you'll buy something and it doesn't fit right.
I'm very guilty of that. Yeah. I love thrifting too.
Yeah. But like you want to, like you love the bones or you love the fabric or you love the cut, the lay, but it just doesn't, there's something off about it. Like knowing how to tailor stuff and sew and make it fit you. I was just like, that is like an awesome skill to have and also make clothes 100%. From scratch. So I did that. I looked at like a couple YouTube videos.
Totally.
Found like stuff that was laying in my closet that I hadn't worn because it didn't fit me, and like got a $10 sewing kit from Amazon.
For sure.
And like undid this one dress that I had worn for my college graduation that I had never worn again.
Yeah.
And I was like, this would be a really cute like top if I can figure out how to do that. And so I just did. I didn't have a sewing machine at the time. I just like watched a video on how to hand sew.
Oh my gosh, crazy
stuff. And it actually ended up being really cute. And so then I was like, okay, let's take this a step further.
For sure.
And so I was like, I feel like I don't do it myself. I delusionalize it myself. You know?
I love that.
Like you just, because if you weren't at least a little bit delusional to think like
I've got this in the bag.
Yeah, I can totally do this. Then you would be like, well, I don't know.
You'd never
probably
try
wouldn't
it.
try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel the same. I actually think there's something so empowering about like being able to tailor or even make your own clothes. I follow a couple people on Instagram who like will just buy the like shirt patterns or whatever and like fully make outfits. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. I wish I knew how to do that. Although on some level, I'm wondering like, at what point does that become more expensive than shopping?
Yes, because Joanne is expensive.
Oh my God, it's so expensive. Yeah.
So expensive.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're upcharging. But yeah, I have actually considered, would you say you're like a YouTube learner?
Yes.
Because I like can't. I try. James is very much a YouTube learner too. Like he's very, I would say most things that he does, he's like self-taught in.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So then what kind of learner are you?
I think I have to go to the class.
Okay.
I'm thinking about signing up for a sewing class because I like would love, I can sew a little and I can like sew on a button or repair a seam.
Which is more than most people can do, honestly.
sure.
And that is a very, very useful skill to have.
Oh my God, it's so
Buttons
useful.
fall off all the time, baby.
Yeah. And my mom was always good at sewing like all these pillows she made and stuff. So I was like, that's really cool. I love that she can just like whip something together. I mean, we all know throw pillows cost an arm and a fucking leg.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
So that was definitely something that I like wanted to learn, but specifically tailoring. I feel like that sounds like it's another level to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's hard because I have just seen a few YouTube videos on it. It's a lot of, because I now have a sewing machine, thank goodness.
Totally.
But it's a lot of like sewing, seeing, like I think also pattern making is probably the hardest part of sewing or making your own clothes, because it's one thing to have something lay in a 2D fashion.
For sure.
And it's another thing to see it like on a body, like in the 3D.
Yeah.
And how it like all falls together and lays and all of that, right? So as far as tailoring goes and like taking things in or like stretching it out.
Yeah.
For me, it's been a lot of like, I'm just gonna sew where I feel like I should, and then I'm gonna try it on, and then we're undoing that. We're going back to the drawing board. We're gonna sew maybe a little like less and like higher up and like see what that does. It's so much trial and error.
Yeah.
Whereas like if I had gone to a sewing class, I could probably do it in like 1 or 2 tries and save myself all of that time.
I think there's different styles of learning though, because I definitely see value in both. I can like learn YouTube for some things, or even like for tech, I feel like I have to like try.
Right.
And that's like my way of doing. But I feel like for something like sewing, I kind of need someone to like tell me what the fuck is going on.
Yeah. Well, did you know that Kyle and Dante are doing a sewing class?
Yeah. I think that was actually the same one that Annie did a couple months back. And I was like, that's really cool. I hadn't even, upon hearing that she was doing that, I kind of started looking into like, what are some adult classes I can take? Like, I love learning.
Yep.
I haven't been in a classroom setting now in like, going on almost 5 years, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
So I feel like a part of me is like, that kind of sounds fun. I was even looking up like creative writing classes, just like anything to get me out of the fucking house.
Yeah. Or like pottery or something. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to do a pottery class.
Yeah. Well, especially now that winter is coming up. Like, in the winter, I do not leave my apartment.
Oh my God, same. I'm so guilty of that.
At all during the week, especially during the week. Like even during the weekend sometimes.
I know. Do you work from home?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, same.
Yeah. Which is a blessing and a curse.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. I like love it. And like a part of me is happy. When I first moved here, I had a commute because we had a WeWork.
Okay.
So I was going down into River North, and like when I first got here, it was like August. So it was like kind of fun. You put your backpack on, you do your little thing.
Spontaneous.
And then it got to be like December, and I was like, oh, I'm over this.
Yeah.
I don't want to do this anymore.
I would like to lay in bed and just like put my laptop on my chest and work from there.
100%. So I like it, but I do catch myself like all of a sudden it'll be like 2 days into the week and I'm like, oh my God, I haven't even like had a step out of this apartment.
I haven't breathed fresh air that hasn't been circulating around my apartment.
So gross.
It's actually the level of self-discipline that it takes
for sure
to like, I don't even take a step outside of your apartment during the winter. It's like not only self-discipline, but also bravery
100%
and courage.
Yes.
And
you deserve a pat on the back.
Yeah. Like I would like a treat after I do that.
So true.
Yeah.
That's
but
so true.
I think also like living alone too.
Oh, for sure.
Because even this summer, there were like weeks where like it's so nice out. The sun is out until 9 p.m. Beautiful weather. And I'm still like, I'm so tired from work. I like can't step outside.
Totally.
I just can't do it. So winter is like
I
down
know.
bad.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also like I'm a part of me is looking forward to winter this year for the sake of like I feel like this has been the busiest summer of my life. It has been go nonstop. It's all been so fun. And I have trouble saying no. Yeah. Which is why I'm doing every single thing that anybody has ever asked me to do. So I'm kind of like looking forward to the hibernation. But I know that when I get into it, I'm going to be like, oh, okay, I'm bored.
I need something new. Okay, so you said it was a really busy summer. What has been your rose and your thorn?
Oh my God, love. Wait, this is fun because I always ask people this at the end of my pod, but just for the week. So heads up, we'll do this again at the very end. Okay, love that. I think honestly, my rose of the summer. Actually, I'll start with my thorn. Thorn of the summer was how hot it was. This was like the hottest summer I think I've ever lived through. And generally speaking, I think it gets hotter in Chicago than it does in like Madison. Madison's on an isthmus. It's like surrounded by water. I would say even here in like Logan Square, we're probably like 10 degrees hotter than it is by you guys.
Yeah, and it's on the lake. Humid here too.
It's so humid.
Yeah. That's what gets you, honestly.
And I hate being hot.
No, it's not pleasant.
It's the worst. No. I would much rather be cold. I wouldn't say that I like love winter, but you can always add another layer.
Exactly.
I feel like when I'm hot, like my brain stops working, like nothing's going on. And I get really overwhelmed.
Those like over 100-degree days
we had. Horrible.
Britt and I had our kickball.
Yes,
like,
that's
final,
right. That's right.
Like the playoff.
Yeah.
We had one of the last games that day. It was probably at like 9 p.m.
Yes.
And it was scorching hot. Even at 9 p.m. with the sun down, with like the temperature cooled off maybe a few degrees.
That's always how you know that it's like, okay, it's no longer light outside and it's still thousands degrees. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to the kickball thing, but I guess I'll finish my rose and thorn. I would say rose of the summer was honestly just like my first full summer in Chicago. It was so much fun. Oh my God, there's endless stuff to do here. It's actually so crazy. And I love like there's so many little markets and festivals and like a million little local things that you can go and do. I spent way too much money this summer.
As always.
So incredibly guilty about that. But it's been so much fun. And like I feel very lucky to have met like all the people that we know here. Everyone loves doing things.
Yes.
Which is awesome because I came from like Madison where a lot of my friends had moved away and like there probably aren't quite as many things to do in Madison, just nature of the size of the city. And like there weren't as many people to do things with.
Right.
So here it's just been so fun to like meet all these people who have all these like fun activities planned. So that's been amazing. It was like so busy and so chaotic, but so much fun. And then do you usually do bud? Have you heard of like the rose, thorn, and bud?
No.
Bud is like something that you would like improve upon or you're looking forward to for like next summer.
Ooh, okay. What's yours?
So I feel like for me for next summer would actually very truly be go outside more.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I feel like I spent a lot of days in my air conditioned house, which don't get me wrong was nice, but I honestly feel like I didn't like I needed to just go for like a walk once a day or something like that. It's so easy to stay in the house.
It's honestly so like everyone says, right? Like going outside, getting steps in,
oh my God,
going on a walk works wonders.
It sucks, but it's true.
It sucks. And it's like every single time that I've not wanted to, but I've made myself do it.
Yeah.
I have never regretted it.
No.
I'm like, oh wow. So that is the key to happiness.
Literally.
Like a silly little
a jaunt outside.
Yeah.
No, like
a couple steps.
No one was lying when they said that.
Yeah.
Nobody was messing with us.
No.
They were really on to something.
Yeah. I would honestly say that that's probably my bud.
Yeah.
Too. I feel like with this summer in particular, I had a lot of not high hope. Well, no. I had a lot of like, I'm so excited for summer. I'm so excited to do all of these things and go out and go to the lake and hang out with people and meet new friends and all of that. And I feel like I did do everything that I wanted to some extent. But I think I got lost, or I wasted a lot of time like being inside just like, you know, maybe not feeling my best and like kind of feeding into that and not having the self-discipline or the courage or the bravery to
take that step outside.
Yeah, take that step outside, because, you know, there's so many times where I will just like be on a walk by myself and I'll run into a friend.
Totally.
Be like, hey, what's
Especially
up?
in Lakeview.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Oh, I'm on my way here. Do you want to come? Sure.
Totally.
Like, it's literally just taking that step outside. And even if you come home 30 minutes later, it makes all the difference. And sometimes you'll end up on a random, weird, fun adventure.
For sure.
By mistake.
Yeah.
By a beautiful mistake. So I think that is definitely my bud. I think next summer I want to push myself more.
For sure.
To like not feed into, oh, but I'm so comfy right now. Like, I don't want to do anything. I want to just like watch Love Island and
who doesn't?
You know, veg. Yeah. But it's like Love Island, like watch before bed.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to be watching it, or I don't need to be watching it during the day, all day.
For sure.
When it's so nice out. So I'm totally on board with that. Like, taking that one
step
go outside. Yes. Like, it seems so simple, but it's so difficult sometimes.
I know. I fully agree.
That sounds like a pretty solid summer that you had, though.
It was good. It was definitely so fun. And I feel like I'm like getting established here, which is really nice. It's just been a really good change of pace.
Yeah.
I love Madison and it's awesome. At some point, maybe I'll go back there when I'm old and gray. But I feel like this is just like, it's such a fun city. There's so much to do. There are like, I mean, you could never try it all, which is,
I know,
so fun.
And especially in Chicago, like during the summer, the amount of street fests.
Oh my God, it's crazy. And they're also fun.
The food, the fun, just the vibe.
There's always live music.
Always live music.
Knickknacks for purchase.
Yes. Little silly like games to play. People to chat to.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Summertime Shy is...
It's the best.
The best.
What about like your rose and thorn of summer?
So honestly, I feel like my thorn is probably similar to my bud, is just all of the time that I could have been like doing something different.
For sure.
Because I'm like, the winter, I feel less guilty about being inside because it is deathly cold outside.
Yeah.
So that is more justified. But I think it's really like easy for me to, again, especially living alone, just not have the discipline.
Of course.
Of like, I know what is good for me. I know what I need to do.
Yeah.
But having like the discipline to actually
see
do it
through.
When you're so like comfortable in where you are. So I would say that's my thorn, and it's definitely something that I want to improve upon, not only in the summer, but just like moving forward. And then I would say the rose has just been all of the, like the times that I did go outside, all of the amazing memories and people that I've met this summer.
For sure.
I feel like I've met more people this summer than I have, and I've lived in Chicago for 5 years.
Totally.
Than I have in the past 5 years that I've lived here.
I feel like a couple of the people I've met have said that. And like, even in general, like all of it is new to me, right?
Right.
So there's that piece too. But I feel like in general, like, I don't know if it's just that we're back, like post-pandemic, everyone's just like fully back to like normal life, busy schedules, or what. It just feels like like, this is the busiest I've ever been in my whole life. It's crazy.
Forget during the summer.
Yeah.
Just in my life in general.
So I wonder if that's like a part of it, or it's hard for me to put my finger on it. But because, yeah, you're not the first person who said that to me. Like, it's just been, there's been so much happening, so many people to meet, so much to do all the time.
But all the people that I've met have been amazing. Yeah. Which, like, you know, we've all met like people that we don't necessarily click with or vibe. Sure. And that's totally fine. But it's, for me, it's been like spotless. Like every single person that I met this summer has just been like, I want to be best friends with you. I want to talk to you all the time.
Exactly.
I want to know more about you. I want to hang out. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's honestly, I feel like that's been the fun part about entering. So I'm turning 27 in 2 months.
I just turned 27.
How has it been?
So far, it's been good. I know that it's like my Saturn return.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that she'll rear her ugly head eventually. But it's been good so far. Honestly, I think like upon my moving and kind of switching things up around this time, and even like you have said, like meeting everybody, I feel like there's something nice about maybe the age that we are right now, where like everyone is so much themselves. We're much more confident in who we are, and maybe even more like intentional with the people that we meet and the relationships that we form. So I feel like in that sense, I actually am kind of like, maybe I love being 27. Like, it's fun.
Yeah.
So far it's been good. I'm like, the fact that I'm close to 30 is kind of sickening.
Yeah. But we don't talk about that.
No.
Because you can be closer to 30 and you're not.
And you're not 30.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like I even keep hearing people say like 30s are just your 20s, but with money. And I'm kind of like, if that's true,
that sounds kind of great. Yeah, sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, okay, tell me about this Saturn return, because I don't think I've heard of that.
Okay.
But for some reason, I've always said this. I've always felt like 27 is going to be the best year.
Oh my God, love.
Like my peak type thing. Yeah. But that was before I knew about this Saturn return. Yeah. So tell me all the details.
Well, so again, I'm like paraphrasing here. So if I have any astrologists who are listening, I'm sorry. But essentially, it's like kind of when you're approaching like your 30s, you're going through this, it's like a big change in your life. I think because especially kind of like for women. And like this tends to be more the time that we'll have like our identity crisis or anything like that, versus like, you know, you hear about like quarter life crisis at 25 or something. This like from now until you're like early 30s is supposed to be kind of a tumultuous time.
Okay.
So we'll see. I'm literally only a few months in.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Dipping the toes.
Yeah, ask me in a few months how I'm doing.
And like it's like a typical time for, you know, like career changes,
right? Or
like, you know, trying to figure out what your next move is and things like that. So, and some of that, I'm not going to think about it now, but I'm like, I can see those changes happening in a few years, which like could certainly cause some stress.
Yeah.
So
honestly, that resonates. I feel like my quarter life crisis has been like kind of laying the groundwork for these thoughts to start happening at 27. So that really resonates and it makes sense.
Yeah.
Can't wait for another identity crisis.
For sure. So fun.
But what is life if we're not constantly questioning who we are?
100%.
You know? Or reassessing
that's so true.
Yeah.
Well, and I feel like for me, I don't know about you, but like quarter life crisis also kind of like lines up with like pandemic.
Yep.
So, I mean, what an insane time to be alive. I was like, this is absolutely bananas bonkers. Like, is this normal? And it wasn't. I mean,
well, the fact that we came out as like relatively well-adjusted human beings after A, going through a pandemic, B, going through a quarter life crisis, C, just existing in the world as it is right now.
A 20-something.
Yeah. 20s. Yeah. I feel like that's pretty fucking amazing.
I think so too.
So bring on the Saturn return. Like that's what? Yeah.
No, I like, it's so funny to even just think about that, because even like post college, and I know you graduated like literally pandemic was happening, which is crazy. I think post college in general is such an interesting time to just like be alive, because I certainly didn't know what I was supposed to do with myself. And I wouldn't say that I do now, but I feel a little more comfortable not knowing.
Right.
Because it just feels like you're supposed to have everything figured out. You have all your next moves laid out before you, which was so not the case. I'm like barely an adult.
Yeah, I'm not a day over 12 years old.
No, straight up.
Like, I am a child.
Yeah.
And
I shouldn't be behind the wheel. I should not be paying taxes.
Yeah. A W-2? What is that? I don't know. I still to this day don't know.
No, and it's none of our business.
No, I have my mom file my taxes for me still.
Awesome. I like always call my dad every year. I do TurboTax. I'm like,
there we go.
By no means doing it myself, but I like can't ever get through the whole thing without calling my dad. There's no way.
Yeah. And I feel like they intentionally word it, because I try.
For sure.
This past tax season, because my mom just like, she just like asked me for all my documents. She sends it off to whoever does our taxes.
Yep.
And then next thing I know, I have money in my bank account.
Totally.
Right? So I was like,
how it's supposed to work.
Yes. Like, I am not built for this terminology.
The IRS.
Yeah. Like, they can, like, if they're listening to this.
Yeah, literally.
You guys are good. Like, no, nothing's wrong.
We actually
But maybe
love
just
it.
like dumb down the language a little bit.
I know.
Because I told myself this was going to be the year that I tried to do my taxes by myself. And I don't even think I did TurboTax. Like, I literally think I just like looked at the forms,
like the actual
on the IRS website.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what my dad does.
Because I'm like, that's kind of like badass.
It is.
You know, like, I don't need a third party service. Like, I know exactly what they're asking me, and I know exactly what my response is.
For sure.
So I did not make it very far.
Totally.
I read a few of the like things that they were wanting me to give, and I was like, I don't have the vocabulary for this. I don't have the...
Well, it's such like jargon.
Yeah, it is. It's all jargon. So, long story short, my mom did my taxes again.
Love.
But maybe 27 is the year. Maybe that's why I've been feeling like it's going to be the best year.
I can see that for you.
Yeah, my peak. Yeah.
You're going to do those damn taxes.
I'm going to do my damn taxes. And I'm going to feel really proud of myself while I'm doing it too.
I know.
Maybe.
It is like so crazy because I do pay for TurboTax. It is dumb. You can file your taxes for free.
Yeah. I mean, it could also just be a Google search away, but then it's also like, how
right. Can I take a class on that?
Yeah. Oh, that could be your adult class that you take.
Honestly, a financial literacy class would probably do wonders for me.
Yeah, honestly, same. If you find one locally, let me know.
I think I might fall asleep. However, I do think that would be something that like, that's honestly something that every like high school student should have had to go through.
Why did they not teach us that?
Like these practical skills.
Yes. Yes. And instead, well, I mean, we couldn't even retain the summer, fall, equinox information. So what makes me think I could retain any of the life information? But like, it would have been nice to have a foundational knowledge.
For sure. And at least that's applicable.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I bet you those financial literacy classes though probably cost like $1,000, and that's the gag.
That's
like,
so
we're
true.
going to take your money.
Yeah. We're actually going to charge you up the ass.
Yeah. And at the end of the class, we're going to be like, you actually should have never paid for this. Yeah. That is the gag. That is what we're teaching you. Yeah. Don't spend your money on dumb shit.
Literally. Okay, but I did want to ask you kickball.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So have you like done that in years past? You've been living here for a while.
No. This was the first league I've done.
That's like so funny because I feel like I've never seen as many recreational sports take place until I moved to the city of Chicago.
Yeah.
And James did volleyball with like Kyle and all of them.
Oh my gosh.
And I think they even did 2 seasons. And now we're doing a kickball league.
Love that. In the fall?
I'm going to be on the team. It starts in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
Kickball was my least favorite sport in gym class.
Yes.
So I am actually like horribly nervous about it.
Don't be.
And I would say I'm like morally against recreational sports, but I hate being left out. So I'm going to do it.
Okay. Tell me more about being more. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that.
I think
but I can
for me, I'm an only child.
Okay.
So I'm like, I don't have a competitive bone in my body.
Gotcha.
Frankly, because I didn't have to compete for anything as a kid. And I'm also like not very sporty. I did cross country and track in high school. I actually did volleyball my freshman year. Wasn't that good. And the team sport of it all, I just felt so much pressure.
It is a lot of pressure.
Where I was like, okay, cross country is like more your solo type of sport. And this is like literally the first team sport that I think I've done in years.
Honestly, though, because I also agree, kickball was my least favorite.
Oh my God, it was my least favorite.
In like gym class. Besides the Pacers.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay, true. Worse.
Those.
Yeah.
Hated those. But honestly, kickball is the worst because it's like Pacers. Because it's the same distance from one base to another.
They just don't have that insane beep.
Yeah.
I feel like I still get nightmares from that beep.
Yeah.
PTSD.
No, literally PTSD. But no, you're gonna have so much fun. I was so nervous.
Totally.
Because it was my first league here in Chicago. Actually, shout out to Britt, because it was one of those things where, you chat to people, you're like, we should do this. And then you're like, yeah, totally.
Yeah,
that sounds so fun. Let's do it. And then it never happens. And you have no intention of it happening, but it's like nice to chat about it and have the idea.
Yeah, bond over the idea of doing something.
Right. It was one of those things.
Totally.
And shout out to Britt, because she actually put pedal to the metal and was like, no, we're actually going to do this.
I love that.
We're going to sign up. We're going to join a team of random people.
Yeah.
So a lot of people, I don't know which league you guys are doing, but
girl, me neither.
It might be the same one, but a lot of them have like sponsor bars. Like it's such a fun experience.
Okay.
But a lot of the teams are like people that all know each other.
Yeah.
It's like they just get a bunch of friends together. Like
totally.
That's what I was wanting to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that sounds like so much fun. You get to see your friends every single week. Then Britt took it a step further and she was like, no. You and I are going to join a team of people that we've never met before.
Totally.
We don't know who they are, what their names are, what they look like. Like, we know nothing about these people, and no one else knows anything about each other too. There's
crazy.
Teams, for the most part, all know each other, and then there's always like a one team where it's like they pool all of the people that did like a solo sign up or like a sign up with a friend and put them all on one team.
Okay.
So we joined that team.
Oh my gosh, fun.
It was beforehand I was so nervous, anxious. I haven't played a sport in years.
Yeah, same.
Like I was like, I'm just going to be I don't even go to the gym.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm like, I'm going to be so out of breath.
For sure.
I'm just going to be embarrassing myself. I have really bad anxiety. So I was like, I don't know anyone. Like what you're saying is so valid and your fear is so valid.
Thank you.
But you're going to, I promise, have the best time.
I feel like it's a good challenge for myself.
Yes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's like out of your comfort zone.
100%.
But it's also something that I also really liked about it, getting back to like getting out the door.
Yeah.
It was an excuse to get out of the door every single week. Because
be outside.
Yeah, like what else would I be doing on Wednesdays?
Yeah.
Nothing.
So true.
And now here I am. I have to go to this kickball game. I can't let the team down.
For sure.
It was so fun. And like we were all so bad. Like we were
that's kind of what I'm
teams.
hoping we are, because then like, pressure is low.
Off. Yeah. But honestly, it's nice. Like no one.
I mean, it's kickball.
It's kickball.
Yeah.
It's kickball. It's honestly, it works to your advantage if like the one thing about kickball, you either have to kick it super far and super high or like in the general like close by vicinity.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you like kick it, you like kick it up high, but like still within range, like it's
they're gonna catch
easily
it.
Gonna be caught. So like it kind of works where it's like you can just like kind of tap it a little bit and then just like run and hope that you make it, and like
totally.
If not, that's totally fine.
Okay,
you have to like cheer everyone else on.
I honestly even forget the rules. It's essentially baseball.
Yeah. But
do they throw it at you or they just have to touch you?
I think both.
Okay.
No one really like, well,
if someone's
some people
hurling a
did
ball at
throw.
me, I
me trying to like ease your fears. No,
now it's
actually,
kickball and dodgeball all at once.
Yeah. Yeah, they did throw, but like people wouldn't throw at girls.
Okay, totally.
For the most part. Yeah.
And that's on feminism.
Yeah. And that is what that is. It was mostly like the dudes on the team just like,
for sure,
I'm big and strong and I can totally hit you with the ball if I wanted to.
Yep. Which again, flashbacks to gym class.
Yeah, literally trauma.
Yeah.
I hated gym class.
Oh my God, same. Again, as in like a non-athletic, non-sporty girl, that was just so not my fucking vibe.
Yeah.
And I hated having to change clothes.
I know. And then like, but changing clothes didn't even do anything because you're still sweating.
For sure.
By the time you're changing back into your regular clothes.
Yeah.
And then now you're sweaty in your regular clothes and your gym clothes are also sweaty. And you're sweaty for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm a sweaty girl. So
no,
it might have
so
just been me. But
and it always like sucked. Gym class was always like middle of the day.
Yep.
I was like, okay, so now I just go on about my day.
Yeah. As if nothing happened.
Smelling terrible. There was also, I don't know if your school was like this. I definitely found myself, I was like one of those girls that if I could, I'd keep my jeans on and put sweatpants over them.
During
Which
gym
was
class?
Fucking dumb because I was way more uncomfortable, way hotter. Yeah. But I was like, hacking the system. I'm not actually going to change. I'm just going to put sweatpants over my fucking clothes. Crazy.
How are you not? That seems so like hot.
Oh my God,
like,
it was awful.
Like
I don't know why we did it. There were so many of us who were like, haha.
Yeah. I know better.
Yeah.
I fooled you.
So dumb.
That would still be me though.
Did you guys have to run the mile?
We did. Yes. We did run the mile. So in when I went to high school in New York, I was playing soccer. Like I played soccer pretty much since I was like 5 or 6.
Okay. So you know how to kick a ball.
Yeah, I knew how to get today, not so much. 10 years ago, sure.
Totally.
But so I used to play soccer. Like back then, I could do the mile in like 7 minutes.
For sure.
I can barely walk down to Trader Joe's
yeah.
now to get my silly little frozen meals.
Totally.
Without breaking a sweat or panting.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
like,
guilty of that too.
Yeah. So kickball was a very, very humbling experience.
I know.
But it was so fun. It was so worth it. It was like everyone on our team was so cool, so fun. We would go like pregame, postgame.
That's fun.
To the bar. Yeah, it was it. And a lot of them had also actually recently moved to Chicago. So it was their way of meeting new people.
Totally.
We also met new people. Like there's so many people in this city. It's actually
it's insane.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So to get out of your bubble and to spend time with people that you maybe would have never met otherwise is
that's so true.
So cool.
I could very much commend people who sign up for a rec sport solo.
Yeah. I could never do that.
Me neither.
I could only do it because Britt was there with me.
Yeah.
But so many people on the team did that.
I know.
And I'm like, I have so much respect.
No, like, that's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk about bravery.
Yeah. That is so brave.
Yeah. I know. I was just saying literally to our new kickball team, I was like, I don't think I've actually worked out like since I maybe moved to Chicago. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Yeah.
Which isn't even like fully true. I'll like do a yoga class in the house here and there, or like, yeah, maybe run for like a mile. Mm-hmm. But other than that, I'm not doing anything very serious, and I don't go to the gym either. The gym has never been my vibe.
Yeah.
But we used to do the mile in like middle school, and our middle school mile, we would like run around the block. So there were like sections where you weren't by like the teachers or anything anymore.
Wait, so you guys wouldn't do it on a track?
We like didn't have one.
Oh my, so it would be like street running.
Yeah. We were just on the sidewalk.
Wait, so what if people were like walking on the sidewalk, like going grocery shopping?
You're knocking them the fuck over.
Wait, that I have never heard of this.
No, and it was so crazy. And there was this guy, Kayvon, if you're listening, who was in 9th grade, and he was in my gym class.
Yeah.
And the only thing I can do athletic wise is I used to be able to run decently fast.
Okay.
And Kayvon had Heelys.
No freaking way.
And this motherfucker would literally get around the corners. And then the second he was out of the teacher's eyesight, he was like on wheels. So he was always first. It was so annoying.
Talk about hacking gym class. Yeah. Talk about hacking gym class.
Oh my God.
That is genius.
Oh my God, genius.
That's genius.
Yeah.
But you know, you're first in full running. Yeah, without like the cheat code.
Yeah. So, but yeah, how fucking funny. Also, like Heelys, what were those? Those were so crazy. That was such a time.
It was a time.
Yeah.
I kind of like miss them.
Yeah.
Like there are some times where like I'll be walking a really long distance, like I have to get somewhere, but I'm like, I don't want to Uber. Like it doesn't make sense for me to take the bus. I'm just gonna walk.
Yeah.
Like I would kill to have Heelys right now.
100%.
Are you kidding?
And just the ease of like from walking to riding.
Yeah.
It's just so fast.
Okay, I will say though, so when Lindsay and I were in Europe last week, so many people would be riding scooters.
Oh my gosh, totally.
And I remember specifically her and I were on the bus and I was just like looking out the window and I go to her, I'm like, Lindsay, I think I've unlocked a new ick. And that is men riding on scooters.
Yeah.
Because the way, I can't even explain it, like, the way that they just stay, it looks so silly to me.
No, it looks ridiculous.
And so I'm like, if Heelys were still a thing today, that would be my new ick.
Yeah,
like a man
fair.
in Heelys down the street. Like,
no, I mean, that'd be insane.
a full grown man. Yeah.
I think my favorite thing about the scooter thing is like, I feel like I saw this a lot more when I was actually going to River North for work. But like grown men in their business casual outfits with their fucking backpack on, dress shoes,
and a helmet.
And a fucking helmet. And they're standing so straight up.
Yes. Because they're like, I can't slouch or my masculinity will be on the floor. But there was this one guy that we saw on a scooter. I kid you not. I busted out laughing. He was standing, but he had one foot in front of the other. Like the front foot was flat on the scooter and the other foot was like
no, he's on his toes. Oh my God. Ew.
I was like, I would think it's cute if I didn't find it so icky. Yeah. Like honestly, it's either so cute and like endearing or just like, oh my gosh, I never want to see that again.
Well, and even something about having one foot in front of the other, I feel like makes them stand even straighter. I'm like, they just look like something about it.
I know. Like they look so uncomfortable and it's like, why are you on a scooter then? Just get a divvy.
Literally.
You just get a
divvy.
There
are other options.
It's so fun because if they were to just like embrace it a little more and just not feel so like emasculated by riding a scooter, like you would look fine. You would look 100%. Normal.
Yeah.
Like no one looks good riding a scooter, but you have to own it. If you're going to be doing it, just own it.
So true.
Oh my God. It was so funny.
I think it's interesting. Like that scooter trend has really taken over cities.
It really has.
Like it's just crazy.
Yeah. I've actually never been on one of them.
I've been on a few. I don't do it very often. I will say the reason that I don't like to do it has nothing to do with the actual scooter. Having this haircut. When you ride a scooter and it catches the wind, literally all my hair stands up and I look like an actual loser. Like it looks so crazy. And I remember specifically, which is so dumb, but the first time that I rode one, I was on a work trip and I was with my manager and she was like, you want to go get ice cream? And we were in like somewhere in California. I can't even remember where now. It was like near Calabasas or something. And I was like, sure. So we like hop on these fucking scooters. And I just remember her turning around and being like, oh my God, Sam, your hair. And I was like, no.
Did she get a picture?
She did not.
Okay, good.
Which I think is honestly the best for my pride. But I was like, fuck. Like, and I could feel it too. I knew I just looked absolutely insane. They are like a little scary though. Like you can go pretty fast.
I can totally see that. Yeah. I feel like I've never been on one.
Yeah.
Not necessarily by choice. Like I don't think I've ever been presented with an opportunity to ride on I'm open to it. Yeah. I'm open to the opportunity if the universe decides to bless me. Yeah. But yeah, they do look really fun, but also scary. I've seen people like zoom past on those bad boys.
I feel like in general, riding them like on the actual like city streets is maybe not my favorite place. Like, but you're not really supposed to use them on the bike path, so there honestly aren't a ton of options.
So where are you supposed to ride them? The sidewalk?
I think. I don't really know.
Yeah, like no one tells you.
Motorized things aren't supposed to usually be on like pedestrian bike paths or whatever, but then I can't imagine cars are like super down to be riding with the scooter folks.
Yep.
But I did also, we rode them one time when I was in Austin visiting a friend, and we like rode them home from the bars, which was probably not the smartest idea. It was also really funny too, because they must have been like used to that. You had to like do like some like math equation or puzzle to like prove you weren't drunk, because they were like, we see you're getting on the scooter at 2 a.m.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's kind of smart.
It was smart.
I can appreciate that.
And then when we went over bridges, it would like physically slow down. So they must have some sort of map system in there where they know if you're like above water.
Yeah, they're like making you do like the New York Times Sunday crossword puzzle before you get on this scooter just to make sure.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, this girl's sober.
Yeah.
But that was fun, and we were booking it. But other than that, I honestly haven't ridden them here like since moving or anything.
Yeah.
So definitely not like my go-to mode of transportation.
Yeah. Have you divvied?
I actually have not divvied.
Okay.
We have like bee cycles in Madison, which are essentially the same thing.
Yeah. And
I have done that. Those are fun. You barely have to pedal.
Yeah. Are they okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually divvied for my first time.
Oh my gosh.
A couple months ago.
Congratulations.
I know, wild, because I've been here for 5 years.
Totally.
But it was my first time going to Friday morning swim.
Oh, nice.
Which RIP.
I know. Yeah, what's up with that?
I don't know if they're doing it anymore.
I actually didn't get to do it. I was like gonna wait until the end of the summer, and then I followed them and I saw
I don't know
the drama.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But I hope they I don't know. I'm hoping that they reinstate it, but honestly, it got so like my first time ever going, I was gobsmacked by the amount of people that were there. I think
that's maybe the issue.
Yeah, like it's not regulated by the city or anything.
Well, because then there aren't like lifeguards.
Yeah, there's no lifeguards. There's no like really oversight at all.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it comes back with like them meeting whatever regulations they need to, because it honestly is so fun. And
what a fun tradition. Yeah. Like that's like so cool.
Yeah. But it was my first time doing that. Also my first time riding a divvy.
Oh my gosh, look at you.
I know. And I got one of the electric ones, and yeah, it was so nice.
Oh my God,
I like didn't have to move at all. And then my next time riding a divvy, there were no more electric ones, so I had to do the good old manual regular bike. And I didn't realize how much the electric
bikes work.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ridden a bike in years also.
Yeah.
So that was tough.
Totally.
That one was tough.
A rude awakening.
Yeah. But it's nice to have the option.
Yeah. I know. I want to like buy a bike here, I think. But again, for me, like biking, rollerblading, scootering, any of that typically isn't like mode of transportation for me. It's like for fun.
Yeah.
Because like
for leisure.
Yes. For pleasure.
Yes.
Because I think for me, if I tried to ride a bike in the city of Chicago, I mean, I'd be dead at the first intersection.
It's terrifying.
So scary.
Okay. Are you on Facebook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Much to my chagrin.
I know. But this is, so what I'm about to say is one of the only reasons why I still use Facebook.
Yeah.
Are you part of like the neighborhood?
No.
Like groups?
Oh my gosh, no. I guess I was in Madison, but I haven't even looked them up here.
Absolutely. Get on it. Get on the neighborhood group, because I'm in the Lakeview one, and the drama, it's a melodrama, but also like a good news source.
Totally.
Right? So like you'll hear so many hot takes. Like actually this dude posted something the other day in one of the groups calling bikers in Chicago street meat. If that tells you anything about what drivers in this city
think of bikers.
Yeah. So I will only ride a bike on the Lakefront Trail.
100%.
But yeah, no, it's terrifying. But also
So
get
scary.
on those neighborhood groups.
Oh my gosh, like I'm gonna do that tonight.
Yeah, because people will get into fights too over just like the most silly
that shit is so
thing.
entertaining.
And like I'll just be scrolling through all of the comments on some random neighborhood post in bed until like 2 a.m. like just giggling, like hee ha-haing at
my mom
people.
had like the Nextdoor app in Madison, and she was literally like, I have to like remove this from my phone because it's literally toxic as fuck. And I was like, okay, tell me about the drama.
Yeah, you're like, but also let me see. Yeah.
So funny. I bet ours would be like that too around these parts.
But it's also a really good like news source too, because I don't really watch the news anymore.
Me neither.
Like, I don't really know what's going on. You know,
I feel like for me, like social media is my news, but then I don't. Yeah, you don't get like local
stuff.
Yeah,
right. So it's like nice to just have like even if it's just like a general idea,
totally,
of what's going on, and then just like silly fights amongst neighbors.
That's hilarious.
So it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, totally. I mean, of course, the neighborhood is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Do you have like the Citizen app?
I used to.
I think I need to get rid of it.
Yes, I had to get rid of it.
Yeah,
because
it's like so anxious.
Yes, but it's two sides of the coin, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, would you rather know,
right,
and move about your life knowing, or not know and live in blissful ignorance?
I know.
And for the longest time, I thought, I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know, because if I need to not do something,
I know,
I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, you're so good. Well, and when I first downloaded it, because it doesn't even work in Madison. Like, they don't even pay attention to that city.
Mm-hmm.
But when I first moved here, I like had heard about it, whatever, downloaded it, and like, you know, you hear like, oh, Chicago, like my family is always like, are you safe? I actually feel so safe here.
Yeah.
But then you like check this app and there are all these bad things happening left and right, but it's like, that's any city.
Right. I remember, I'm so sorry, I'm like losing my voice.
You're so good.
I remember I had the Citizen app and I was going to go on a walk. 2 seconds before I was about to leave my apartment,
Yeah.
I get an alert.
Mm-hmm.
Woman, like, robbed 0.2 miles away.
Totally.
And I was like, I am going back on my couch.
Yeah.
And not moving.
No, 100%.
And then after that, I was like, I think I would just rather not know.
I know.
But also, I would want to know, because I don't want to be that woman.
I know. But then, like, it could be one of that thing where, like, then you won't leave the house. And so I'm like, at worst, what? They take my stuff? I don't know.
Well, okay. So it's tough because, speaking of neighborhood posts, there was in the Facebook group, someone said that a couple days ago, there was like 14 armed robberies in Lakeview in one night.
We had something similar to that. Like, there was like 2 nights and like 17 in Logan Square or something.
Like,
and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, like back to back.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm just like, I try to think proactively, because I read the article.
Yeah.
And people would hand over their stuff.
Yeah.
And they would still get like beaten or like whatever, even after handing over their stuff. And so I'm like, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like, even Britt, she came over a couple of nights ago and she was like, I put my keys in my pocket and not in my bag, because if I were to get robbed, at least I would have my keys.
For sure.
You know? So it's like, you have to adjust your habits,
your
and stuff.
lifestyle. Yeah.
But if I wasn't in that Facebook group, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So it's nice to know, but still be removed enough from it. Whereas like the Citizen app, it's like every 5 minutes. Every 5 minutes.
And at least with the Facebook group for the most part, or even honestly Facebook in general, like I don't see it unless I check it.
Right.
Which is nice.
You choose when you want to consume that content.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I will say for the most part, I do feel very safe here. But yeah, we had that same incident, and there were a couple days where I was like, maybe I'm not going to leave the house.
I know. It's, but then again, on the other side of that, it's like, I don't want to live in fear.
No, totally.
If I do,
I mean, that's no good.
Gonna get the best of me.
Yeah. And that's no life, you know, if you're just staying in the house and you don't see any of your friends or do any of your normal activities. So, but yeah, so crazy. But maybe that's what I'll have to do then is like Facebook group versus Citizen app.
Yes. Transition.
Yeah.
Do the transition. You won't regret it. You'll be entertained.
Totally.
And also in the know.
I think it's funny that the Citizen app will try to throw in good news every once in a while, and it's always just like, cat found. And I'm like, yay!
Yay!
But also shooting and robbery and crazy.
Yeah, you're like, I'm really happy that cat was found, but
maybe I don't need all this other news.
Yeah. Yeah, so I had to delete it. It was too much for me.
Totally fair.
And now it's like the Citizen to Facebook group pipeline.
I think I'm down to get on that pipeline.
Yeah. It's also really fun. Like people sell like stuff on there. They're like, oh, actually I'm throwing this away if anyone wants to come pick it up. And there's like really cool stuff too.
I'm like a Facebook Marketplace whore.
Love Facebook Marketplace.
I love it.
But do you guys have a car?
James does.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Because there have been so many times where I found something on Facebook Marketplace and I'm like, I would have to get a U-Haul to like pick this up and take it home.
Yeah. It has been like, I feel lucky that we have him. He has a music studio, which is where he is tonight. There was one time when we were like trying to kind of furnish that for him. We were going pretty cheap. We found a couch that someone was selling for like $50. His car is big, but it kind of like isn't that big. And I think that we were way over our heads, and we get to it's kind of like somewhere in between like a full SUV and then kind of like a hatchback. It's kind of somewhere in between there.
Okay.
And so we like get to this guy's house, and they haul this couch down, and we try to fit it into the trunk, and there was just no way that couch was gonna fit in there. We ended up tying the entire couch to the roof of his car. This guy like who was giving us the couch gave us like huge like
shout out guy. Shout out
so
him.
Crazy. And then we had to like be very careful about the route we were taking to get to the studio, avoid all the bridges. Like it was actually so much work. But so I agree. Sometimes it's like, is it that realistic to pick up furniture off the side of the road? Not always,
but
it's so fun.
I know it's so fun.
I can't stop looking.
Yeah, I'm kind of like shameless about it because so in LA, at least where I lived there, a lot of people would like, I don't know if they're just like too lazy to sell it or like just don't like just want it out of the house like ASAP.
Yeah.
But every like couple of months, you would have people that are just like moving out and would just leave so many things just on the sidewalk, like perfectly good pieces of furniture, perfectly good like appliances, everything. And I was just shameless. Like I would just be walking by like, yes, I need a coffee maker. I will be taking this. And I used it. And like, I would just get so much free stuff from the discard piles. But here in Chicago, I haven't seen as many like, just people
trying to get their
stuff
buck
out. I know they're trying to get their buck, which more respect to them. Like I get it. But yeah, I love like just scouring like
100%
what's out there and what people are getting rid of.
I know they have those Facebook groups too where it's like plant trades or whatever.
Yes.
Fun. Yes. I want to do that.
Yes. Well, you have some pretty cool plants.
Thank
you. Is that an aloe?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like overgrown for the pots. I need to replant or repot almost all of the plants in my house, but that's something I'm so bad about doing.
What kind of plant is that?
That's a money tree.
Okay.
And we just never braided it. So it like has like way more leaves.
that's why, because I was like, I feel like I've seen money trees before.
Well, because like most people braid the trunks or whatever.
It kind of looks like an avocado, because like I've grown like, you know, the avocado trees, but that is like a fully grown. Yeah. But I like the way it looks.
Yeah. We actually got that one. My mom got that for James for his birthday, like literally when we were back in college. We had it for so long, and it seems to be doing okay.
So she's old.
Yeah.
Are you a good like plant parent? Do you have a green thumb?
I would say I have a yellow thumb.
Okay. Okay.
I love plants. I love having green in my house. I need things that are sort of on the beginner level.
Right.
Because anything beyond that, if it's like a complicated plant or has any sort of need beyond like get watered once a week.
Yeah. I didn't have sunlight.
I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm on the same page. I used to actually, I feel like I've gotten better over the years. Yeah. Like people would give me a plant and it would be dead in 2 months.
I know.
2 months.
There's no guilt like killing a plant.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, I could have like, I know better. Well, I don't know what I could have done better, but like, I know that I should be able to do this.
For sure.
But I found a lot of success because now I feel comfortable saying that I'm a good plant parent, which is a pretty good progression from where I was years ago. But I found a lot of success in bottom watering.
Oh, okay.
So like, I found that when I like put water in a watering can and water from the top, I would always overwater or like drown my plants and they would just die. I found water, like putting water in like a shallow bowl or something and then placing the plant inside, it just sucks up
what it wants,
the water that it needs. And I found so much success doing that.
That's good to know.
So yeah, it might, I don't know, it might help, it might not, but I'm like, a plant that big, you probably have to water from the top.
Well, and that's the main one, honestly, that I use a watering can for. A lot of my other plants in the house, like I'll like take it to the sink. Yeah. And just like drench it in there, take it out or whatever, which for the most part works. I mean, I have a lot of succulents too who probably like, you know, require less water, but I like love plants. I want to be really good at them. I will also say, I don't know if you have experienced this with your cat, but like my cats eat my fucking plants.
Yes.
It's so annoying. Like I have this Monstera and I don't know why they've recently started leaving it alone, but like this whole stem had leaves. Completely destroyed.
Like, what do you do? I to this day, I cannot have plants within like Juno's reach. Right. Because she will eat them.
Well, and they don't seem to like eat like aloe or any, like my cactus, obviously.
Like spiky ones.
Yeah. And for some reason they leave the money tree alone, but like anything with like a leaf.
Yes. And it's like some of them are toxic.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. How, like, know better.
I know.
You know?
For sure.
But they don't. They just like chewing on things.
And I swear they just love to piss me off. So.
I know. Yep. I've like, Juno has chewed through so many of my plants, but I've like, you know, pulled her away and like placed her far away from the plant. And she just goes running straight back towards it. Like enticing. She knows.
Well, and then we like put this one out of reach for a while and another one that they've been chewing on a bunch. And like now I put this one back and it seems like they've just kind of forgotten about it.
That's good.
So I'm holding on to that for as long as I can, but we'll see. Cause I tried like lemon juice, I had heard, or like, I mean, I was sprinkling like paprika and coriander and all these things on my plants. Yeah. None of it was working.
I've also heard like getting cat grass and just like letting them.
We got cat grass for a sec.
Did it work?
And I don't know what happened. We must have overwatered it or something. Our entire house got infested with bugs. It was literally
no.
It was so gross.
No.
And it was just these little gnats. I mean, I'm sure they were harmless, but they kind of looked like a fruit fly, but they weren't. Yeah. Same family though.
Yeah. You're like trying to solve one problem and you ended up creating an entirely new.
Oh my God. And it was an issue for months.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I have a similar problem like over the summer just with like gnats and stuff around the house. And they annoy me.
Oh my God, they're so annoying.
So they annoy me so much. It's to the point where like I don't like sleeping with like my ears
totally
like, exposed, because I'm just like, what if they, I don't know, what if they like crawl in there?
I can totally fucking relate to that. Yeah.
So I've like tried all the home remedies, like the apple cider vinegar, the honey with like a little bit of dish soap, what have you. But they just like, that's why they're called pests. They just like persist.
I know.
Like,
nevertheless.
Yeah.
Literally.
Nevertheless, she persisted. Yeah. But
I will say, I haven't tested it myself, but I saw on TikTok literally just the other day that those solutions only kill the adults.
No.
But the problem is they lay their eggs like in pretty much all of your drains. So they said pour boiling water down every drain in your house.
Okay.
And do that 3 times a day for like 2 days, and your problem will be like fully gone.
I don't even want to think about eggs, like gnat eggs.
Right. Don't lay your babies in my house.
Yeah. Like,
ew.
If you're not paying rent.
No.
First of all. Yeah. So get out of here.
And certainly don't do it where I wash my hands.
No. Oh, so Lindsay, she was gone from her apartment for a month, right? And she said before she left, she was like, I gave my apartment the New York special and I covered all of my drains.
Smart.
Like with, something like weighed down on it so that no, whatever it might be, crawls up the drains. So we got back last Thursday. So happy to be back. Like we were so tired from traveling, like the time difference, all of that.
Totally.
And she gets home. She sends me a video of her bathroom sink. She had like a clear plastic cup over it. And there were, I'm not even kidding you, maybe like 30 gnats just like swarming around in the cup. She was like, alive? What do I do? Yes, alive, flying around.
Oh my God.
And she was like they're trapped in the cup where over the drain hole.
Ew.
But it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Because if you remove it, they're going to be free.
Right.
But also like you need to remove it at some point because
how else do you even get it out? Or else also even if you flush them down the drain, then they're just down the drain.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Ew.
So she was like, what do I do? And I was like, girl, I have no clue. I'm like, maybe just remove the cup really quick and just spray like
literally
whatever.
Maybe
and
move
hope
out.
that it kills all of it. Yeah. Maybe move out. Honestly, maybe get a hotel room and have someone look at that.
Oh my God. Crazy.
But she said she managed to kill them all except for one.
Okay.
So now she just has like the one. But honestly, that is like a pretty successful like kill
amazing.
rate, I would say. Yeah. But it's like once you have one, eggs, no. Oh my gosh, that's my thorn of the summer. Yes, honestly, being terrorized by gnats.
Yeah,
all the time. Hate it.
Bugs in general in the summer are awful. I will say this is the first apartment James and I have lived in that doesn't have like central air conditioning, so we have window units.
Yep.
Bugs fly through those bitches like nobody's business.
All the time.
And like ours aren't even taped very well or sealed very well. And like James says in here, when he doesn't like to leave his lights on if he's in there at night because then the bugs will swarm. And I'm like, that is so fucking gross.
Yeah. I have window units too. And yeah.
It's just the worst.
It is the worst. And also it's like the older buildings, like my apartment is in an old building. And I have a window unit in my room.
Totally.
And I walked in one night so tired, look over at the wall by my window, a centipede this big.
Ew.
This big. The way my soul left my body.
100%.
I was like, I just want to go to bed.
Why is it always when you're so dead tired?
I don't know, but I had to kill it.
Of course.
Like,
good for you.
Killed it. I always forget that you can kill them with like phone books. I'm always like, I just go straight for the paper towel, and that is like the worst.
Yeah, because it's like
you feel everything.
Practically skin in contact.
Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, that's true. Every once in a while I like remember to grab a shoe or something.
Yeah, see, that's smart.
I wish like my cats killed bugs, but they totally don't.
No.
I would say Misha's actually afraid of bugs, and then Beatrix is kind of like fascinated by them, so she'll like play with them, but she won't actually and their lives.
Yes. Like do what I need to be done.
So
I'd say Juno plays with them too. Like I'll see her like playing with something on the ground and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I go over, check, it's a bug, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I know I need to kill it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because I know you're not going to, but at least you spotted it for me. So like, thank you. Yeah. Thanks, I guess.
Oh, I want to meet Juno at some point.
She is so sweet.
She's so pretty.
If you ask Luke, he'll say she's the devil, but like everyone else says that she's really sweet. So I don't know what she has against him.
It takes a cat person.
It does. It does. So this is my take. I feel like not every hot girl has a cat. Okay. But every girl that has a cat is hot.
For sure.
Like, what?
Without a doubt. Yeah. That's so true.
And it's also like, okay.
That's actually just basic science.
Right? Like, I think I read it in a textbook somewhere. Yeah. But also, I feel like cats are really good litmus tests for people. Because
wow, that's so true.
I've brought like people around Juno and I just know her. I know she doesn't like them.
Yeah.
Like my last ex, Juno never liked him. Never liked him.
Totally.
And she was right.
Yeah.
Like
a woman's intuition.
Yes, a woman's intuition. She's a cat, intuitive creatures, and a woman, intuitive creatures. So she
I love that.
She's a good litmus test.
I'm going to start using that. Although I honestly don't always think that my cats have the best judge of character because these are the most dog-like cats I've ever had in my life. Like they very much are like little attention whores. And I'm like, okay, let's be a good judge of character right now.
Yeah. Like let's flip the switch, like pay attention, clock in, do your job.
Exactly.
Like, what are you telling me?
So we'll see. But I'm going to start using that. That's smart.
Yeah. But also I feel like, so calico cats, 99% of them are female cats.
Okay.
It's very rare.
Maybe I've heard that.
Yeah. It's very rare that there is like a male calico because I think it's like their pattern or whatever lies on like the female chromosome or gene or whatever.
Because isn't that similar to like orange cats are almost always boys?
Yes, exactly. Which orange cats need to be their own breed of animal in and of them. Like they're not cats. They are wild creatures.
100%.
But so also because calico cats are mostly female, because I remember when I first got her, I was like doing a little bit of research on her like breed and stuff. And it was basically like universally like they are divas. They are hilarious. Like literally just queens. Like the whole world revolves around them, which has been I've found to be the case with Juno.
You're like, this adds up.
Yeah, this makes sense. Okay. But like, I think because of that, because she's such a diva and she's so like, she can like suss people out really well. So she like has that like, I'm better than you.
Right.
So if I don't like you, there must be something wrong with you. Yeah.
Oh my God, funny.
She is so silly. But she likes everyone. For the most
part.
Feel
like it's always so fun too, how like, and I've also found this to be true, cats do gravitate towards like non-cat people.
Yeah.
And it's like they're just trying to fuck with them or something. Yes. It's so funny.
But that's like, they're so intuitive in that way. Like they can just like spot them.
They're not comfortable around me.
So I'm going to make you even more uncomfortable.
Exactly.
Because that's going to be fun for me. That's going to be like a fun little task for me to complete. Yeah.
A little challenge.
Yeah.
So
a little
funny.
challenge. And then like I'll piss you off as a treat.
Yeah. Straight up. Yeah. That is how it is. So funny. Well, I'm glad to know that you're a cat person.
Yeah.
I feel like that's also a litmus test.
It is. I'm like, I feel like people that don't like cats, like not feel ambivalent, but like actively don't like cats.
Yeah.
I'm like, why?
I know. And I get that there are some people who have had like a bad experience with the cat.
Totally.
But I feel like for the most part, like cat people like dogs.
Yeah.
And dog people don't like cats.
I know.
And it's like,
It
that
makes me
actually makes no sense.
sad.
Yeah.
I make fun of my friend. She's allergic to cats. And I'm like, just grow up.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
just like get over it.
Get over
you know?
it.
Like, they're so awesome.
Yeah.
But no, that's a valid reason to not like cats. If you're allergic
True.
to them or if you've had a bad.
Yeah.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of dogs. Like,
I had some friends who were super scared of dogs.
super scared.
They can be scary.
They can be.
Yeah.
But it was to the point where, like, I think I was probably like 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
And if I was walking in the street with, like, you know, my parents
Yeah.
and a dog was walking by, I would make my mom pick me up off the ground.
sure.
Like, I could not be on the same, like, what is it, sea level as a dog.
Which I will say, as a kid, you're actually so much more closer to them than an adult is.
Exactly.
Like, you're looking them dead in the face.
And they look bigger than they
Yeah.
are.
I mean, they bark all big and loud, and
Yes.
like that can be scary. Growing up, we had one of the dogs we had, Gracie, R.I.P. in peace. She was like part Doberman, so she was like Doberman mixed with Hound. So she had the big droopy eyes and whatever. And then she had that huge Doberman bark. It was so deep, so loud.
It's like
and
a belly bark. Like, it comes from
Yes.
like inside.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, you're putting in some work
Yes.
to heave that out.
Yes. It's like a cacophony.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so, like, neighbors, kids especially, were like terrified of her. The mailman, that poor mailman. So every time he came to the house, she would like, it was so crazy.
But she's a sweetie.
Oh, she was so sweet.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's funny too, because it could just be the voice on him. Who knows?
It could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've met dogs that, like, their bark does not align with
Right. Their
like
personality.
their size or
Yeah.
their personality. Like, I've met like Frenchies that, you know, they're so small. Like,
Yeah.
they just look like they would bark like in a really high pitch.
Totally like a little yip.
Yeah, exactly. A little yip, a little yap. And no, it's like a, like, I will kill your entire family if you wrong me type bark.
Yeah. There are these two little dogs out here. At some point, maybe you'll get to see them. They're like 2 houses down. And they're really funny because they kind of pick and choose when to care about you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like, they could be outside and you could walk past and they won't know the difference. But then maybe one day you walk past and they're like, well, today you're bothering us.
yeah, I'm in a mood today.
So we have something to say.
Yeah.
And they kind of honestly look like mini Dobermans or something. Like Dobermans, but like wiener dog size and body.
Okay.
Very bizarre looking dogs.
Interesting.
And they're kind of cute, but they're also like kind of menacing. And like James has this crazy video of the two of them just like yipping all over the place and like jumping on each other. And like, so sometimes they're so angry. But then sometimes you'll walk past and they'll just like look at you on the porch like, what?
Yeah. What are you looking at? Like, you're
It's
disturbing my
okay.
peace.
Not today.
Oh my gosh. I remember, like, the first time I ever saw, you know, the movie Cats versus Dogs?
Of course. A classic.
A classic. It was like the rainy day special in middle school. But the first time I ever saw that movie, I was terrified of cats solely because of that movie.
That makes
I like
sense.
had ingrained in my mind for the longest time the scene where one of the cats like threw up a hairball.
Yeah.
And it was one of the most traumatic things I had ever seen on a screen at the time. I was like, no,
totally.
that is horrifying.
Yeah.
That is like gross. Why would anyone want that? And now it's like Juno throws up all the time and I'm like, you're so silly.
I know.
Like,
What is
you're
it with
fine.
cats and barfing?
I don't know. But they seem to think that they can barf everywhere.
I know.
Juno has like, she'll be so close to like missing the carpet, right?
Yeah,
and then she'll
every
like
time.
turn her head and like throw up on the, and I'm like, okay,
I know.
that was on purpose.
Right.
It's
it
fine,
feels
I
pointed.
guess.
Misho's the same. Beatrix honestly doesn't throw up very often, but Misho always just like eats too fast. He'll throw up like whole kibble. It's like, okay, awesome. Maybe chew for once.
Yeah. But also, I guess like that works for cleanup.
Yeah, easier to clean up.
thanks,
True.
maybe. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with you or what to say to you.
I know. It's so crazy.
Okay, I don't know. So I don't know know if I want to have kids.
Same.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't need to.
As of right now, I don't.
Same.
But
maybe
we're permitted to change our minds.
Right. That's the whole point of life.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I want to, but every single time I go on a trip and I leave Juno and she's like at home, I know someone's watching her. I know she's fine. She has her feeder. She has her water fountain. She's fine.
Yeah.
Like she is okay. But the way, like the anxiety that I feel and like the way that I miss her, I'm like, if I feel this way about a cat, I don't even want to know how I'm going to feel if I choose to have a child and I have to leave it.
100%. I'm the exact same way. And I think it's also so funny. I was having a conversation with someone the other day and like we must have been like talking about kids. And like they gave me a story about like their kid or whatever. And then I chimed in with the story about my cats. And they were like, it's so funny how cat people like, or not even just cat people, like people with pets. And especially nowadays, like I feel like a pet is so much like, that's my baby.
Yes.
They're like, it's so funny how like, you know, I'm offering a story up about my kids and now you're doing the same.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same level of love.
Tit for tat.
Yeah.
So funny. But that's how it is. It's good to be a cat parent.
I know. It's like a soft launch.
It's like the perfect level of responsibility.
Yes. Agreed. I don't think I could have a dog at this point in my life at all. I don't have an outdoor space.
Yeah.
I also don't have the mental or emotional bandwidth
or frankly the funds.
Yeah, the funds. It's
like a dog you can't leave for a weekend.
No, you cannot.
You have to take them outside constantly. Yep. Boarding them is really expensive.
And we already know that we struggle with stepping foot outside of the house.
100%.
So like
I do feel like there'd be something nice about like having to go for a walk. Although I do think in winter it would get old really fast. Yes. So there is that.
Yeah.
I also, no offense to any of my friends with dogs, but like maybe a little bit of offense. I like get mad when friends have dogs and they like have to leave the function early or like they can't come to the fun weekend away. I'm like, don't be boring.
Yes.
Then you should have gotten a dog.
But also I get it. But also like, or just like bring the dog with you.
Yeah, he can come.
Like, I want to hang out with your dog. Like bring it to the party.
Yeah.
Ugh, I know.
Well, and it's always so funny when it's like, well, we got to go walk Marley or whatever it is. And it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
But like Marley does deserve to go outside.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So I get it. But I'm allowed to have space to be upset about it.
100%.
Until you come back.
We have a friend who like literally is like, I actually won't go on a date with a man if I see on a dating app that he has a dog.
Okay. What's the
I'm like,
reason behind that?
That's crazy. And she was like, well, because like the kind of the same reasons I just listed. It's like that's gonna be his main responsibility. He's gonna have to leave. I don't want to take on the responsibility of a dog. Like,
and it's also like that's his first love.
Yes,
I don't want to be second to anyone. What are you? Not even a cute dog.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay, that's so
like,
so
that's
valid.
really interesting. Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Same.
I'm so on board with that.
Yeah. So
it's
funny.
actually super smart.
Okay, well, I'm going to make you do Rose and a Thorn one more time, but this time it'll be for the week.
Okay.
So the highlight of your week, low light, and then something you're looking forward to for next time.
Okay, so the thorn of my week has been working for the first time in 10 days today.
That is a thorn.
First day back to work. Yay.
Yeah, rough stuff.
Yes, but hopefully you'll get in the groove of it. It'll be, you know, come second nature again.
Totally.
It's just like 10 days is a long time to be away from work and have to.
And I feel like when you come back, it's just all the anxiety about like, what did I miss? What did I have to catch up on?
Yep. So that was the process that I was going through today.
Totally.
But I would say the rose of the past week has been, I think, just like reflecting on like the trip that I've had and then also seeing people again. I feel like I've been gone for it's only been like 2 weeks.
I feel that though. I kind of felt the same.
Yeah. It's like nice to come back and be like, what did I miss?
Yeah.
Tell me everything.
Who missed me?
Yeah. Who missed me? I know you all did.
Yes.
And then just like telling stories from your travels, hearing stories from like what has been going on since you've been gone, and just like catching up and reminiscing on memories has been the best.
Well, and your trip just looked amazing. So I'm sure it is also nice to like, tell the stories, do some reflecting on the actual trip itself.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Lindsay and I could probably write a Netflix show on the stories that we have.
For sure.
And then my bud, I would say just like getting back into the routine of things. Like, I feel like my body has been like readjusting to being back, like just jet lag and stuff. And like, I don't know, just getting back into a routine, because as much as I love being on vacation, for my own sanity, I need to like know what's happening every single day and like have an objective and a goal.
I totally feel that. I think I feel the same on vacation. It's so fun for a while. And then at a certain point, I'm like, maybe I'm ready to get back to normal life.
Like, do I want to work right now? Like,
which is literally capitalism doing its fucking work. But
that is hustle culture.
Yeah. But there is something nice about having a routine back. I also feel like, generally speaking, like getting back into your normal routine with like what you eat and like,
and also like sleeping in your own bed.
Oh my God, hell
that is so underrated.
It really is.
It's like one of those things that you take for granted until you're like
on day 10.
Yep. And you're like, fuck.
Yeah. No, those are good answers. I'm trying to even think what I did this last week. I feel like, again, like September's just been crazy.
Super crazy.
But I would say my thorn was probably last week. I worked a ton. We have these like, we do analytics basically monthly for our clients.
Okay.
Which is kind of in like marketing world, the way to prove your worth, I guess, is be like, okay, all the stuff we tried this month, like, did any of it pay off? What were our numbers?
Yeah.
Which is arguably the least favorite part of my job. I love coming up with all the creative ideas. I love designing things. I love strategizing. I don't like proving what worked or what didn't.
No.
I understand why it's valuable information.
Yes.
I'm not like a numbers girl, so I think I also have a hard time like making all the numbers meaningful and trying to figure all of those things out. So that, even though it should not have taken me over hours, I ended up working like 2 12-hour days last week, and it was,
oh my gosh,
it was just bad.
Are you like a perfectionist?
Sometimes, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially on things like that where I know that like because I also have to present them to the client.
Okay.
So I need to like be super sure about it, because also if I'm not positive, they're gonna see right through that. So I'm gonna be like overly confident going into that.
Yes.
Which I feel like it's much easier for me to kind of like, I don't know, spitball like a creative idea.
Right.
Or something like that.
That's so tough though. 2 12-hour days.
Oh my God, it was bad.
Wow.
And I had a bunch of team members who were out too, which is no fault of theirs.
Yeah.
But so it was like manpower.
Yeah, you're like holding down the fort, I guess.
So that was definitely my thorn. I think my rose, my best friend's brother got married this weekend, so we were home in Madison.
Nice.
He's like practically family. Her dad is the one that my dad did the Camino with.
Okay.
So, and we've been friends since we were little third graders.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you guys are friends and that your parents are friends.
Yeah. That's like my parents, like, I would say it's one of my dad's only friends. No offense, Dad. You know how men are. And yeah, and our moms are like besties. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
And my parents got invited to the wedding too. So it was like all of us. It was so fun. And like I haven't honestly been at like a formal event like that with my parents in a long time. It was like fun to like get on the dance floor with my mom.
Yeah. I love a wedding.
Me too.
I love a wedding.
They're so fun.
They're so fun.
And I feel like we're finally getting that age, which is scary but cool at the same time.
Yes.
Of like people around our age and our friend groups are starting to do it, or even like friends' older brothers. And it's fun to attend weddings now. One, at the at the legal drinking age.
Yes.
And also like when it's like you're surrounded by friends versus like, when you're younger, you go into family weddings of like people you don't even know that well.
Yep. And you can't really take full advantage of like the atmosphere.
Yeah.
But I think it's also like love is just in the air at weddings, and like you just feel so happy.
Oh, it's
and
intoxicating.
Like, yeah. And so you're like, I am going to dance. I feel so like full of love and joy and happiness right now.
Like this evening is so special. Yeah. Like it's so fun.
Yeah. Weddings are therapy dupes.
Straight up. Yeah. They really do wonders for the brain.
They really do.
Serotonin, baby.
Mm-hmm.
So that was so fun. That was definitely the rose. And something I'm looking forward to, honestly, is chilling for a sec. I feel like it has been go since the start of September. I've also been back and forth like to Madison and back tons of times this month with work and then our Madison trip and then this wedding. So I'm like ready to like just hunker the fuck down and stay put.
Park your ass on the couch and enjoy the last few like days of summer-ish weather.
Totally.
It's gonna be so pretty in the fall though.
I'm
with the
so
colors
excited.
and the leaves and stuff.
I'm ready for fall clothes.
Me too.
I'm ready for like a jacket, a boot.
Gonna like crochet a sweater.
Hell
like,
yeah.
That sounds so fun.
Damn, that sounds awesome.
Like hot cocoa.
I know.
Apple cider.
All the little like fall events. I don't care how chewy they are.
Yep.
I want to do the pumpkin patch. I want to do the apple picking.
I will be there.
Yeah.
I will be there.
So I'm looking forward to that.
Oh.
But thank you for coming on this podcast.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. This is literally so fun. You're very good at this. I'd love to have you on again sometime.
Oh my gosh.
soon.
I would love to. I was like nervous and excited, but I had the best time.
And you kind of forget you even have a mic, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I think it's really fun, but I'm so glad that you came on. It's been awesome getting to know you a little better.
I know. Same here.
Have to hang out soon.
I know. Please.
And I want to meet your cat.
Yes.
We'll have to make that happen.
You know we'll love you.
I'm excited. Well, thank you guys for listening, and we will talk to you again next week. Bye.
Bye.
Another cathartic convo in the books. I feel better. How about you? Thank you so much for listening. Now I just want to jump on here and say, don't forget to follow and or subscribe to the pod on your favorite streaming platform for new episodes every single week, because I know you can't get enough of me. Additionally, if you want to gain access to exclusive episodes and lots of other goodies, join our Patreon and support the pod with your hard-earned American dollars. You can find the link in our show notes, or you can also visit us at patreon.com/pessimistic at best. And of course, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at pessimistic at best. And if you're as obsessed with me as I am with you, you can find me at Sam Georgeson on all platforms. And last but not least, I'd like to give a special shout out to my podcast editor and producer, the love of my life, James Arbai, whom I literally could not do this without. So thank you, James. I love you so much. And thank you guys for joining me again this week. I love you too, and I cannot wait to chat with you again soon.